This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
You're listening to the Dan Le Batard Show in partnership with the DraftKings Sports app, now live in all 50 states.
This episode of the Dan Le Batard Show is presented by DraftKings Sports. DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Chris Cody, have you heard back from friend of the show, AJ Burnett, yet on his appearance?
I have not. I'll keep you updated.
All right. Greg, have you heard back yet on your investigation into who was the AP voter, the one AP vote that had the Miami Hurricanes
I
number
have
one?
an update. I'm the new Pablo Torre. Jordan McPherson got back to me, said, "Hi, Greg, I'm not an AP voter this year." But
Good. Consequences.
But he would have had them 2 to 4, like in the 2 to 4 range.
Yeah, everyone understood
If
that.
he was a voter, he had Oregon first. The new AP voter locally is Adam Lichtenstein of the Sun Sentinel.
What do you say?
Who apparently voted him third. And I have more information.
More.
The word in the street is that the lone first place vote for the Miami Hurricanes was cast by a Syracuse writer named Javon Edwards. Wow. Unofficial, but that's the word in the street.
Good on you, Javon.
Wow.
On the street.
Send
On
him
the
a
street.
DM now, Chris. Ask him
Yeah.
if he was the guy.
And will he come on the show
Yeah.
to defend his pick?
Yeah, ask if he will come on the show to confirm or deny.
Yes. That's Javon Edwards of the Syracuse Post-Standard.
To tell him word on the street is that he was the vote, and we would like him to confirm or deny.
On air.
Yeah.
I have a question for Greg really quick as newspaper man of old. How did newspapers decide what their name was going to be? Because you had Syracuse Post-Gazette, then you've got the Standard, whatever, and then you got this and that. Like
My favorite, Tony, is the Seattle Post-Intelligencer.
Yeah, that's fun.
That is fun, right?
I always think it was funny when you ran into one that was like the Miami News. It's like you can't be more creative than news. But as old as I am, it was already the Miami Herald when I started working for it, so I have no idea that origin. I don't know how
It's weird, like the names, like they just pick these random names and then just like that's part of what it is now. And there's only like a certain lexicon of words that you can add as the name of a newspaper.
That's true. It's a good point.
The New Orleans Times-Picayune.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's
a good
crazy.
One. That's a good one. So, big news of the day yesterday is
Solo Sikoa turning his back on his uncle.
what a
or
final
cousin.
what a final segment
What
that
is he?
was.
Cousin? OTC?
Cousin. I think he's second cousin. What a final segment that was on Monday Night Raw last night, Greg. Your thoughts coming up in a little bit.
Yeah.
But the ESPN came out with a report yesterday. They came out with a story yesterday that the NBA has not found a link. They have not found credible evidence to suggest that Steve Ballmer has funneled money through sponsorship to Kawhi Leonard.
The Chicago Sun-Times.
And that set the internet ablaze. Right now everyone is dunking on Pablo because ESPN was reporting that the NBA is not finding a link. And the first place that I would go, Amin, is, okay, let's think about this for a second here.
The Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Which side would you be on?
We have a fine situation for Greg Cody.
I was searching the internet, Javon Edwards. Like, who is some football player at Coastal Carolina? No, it's Edmonds, Javon Edmonds.
All right, but that's a fine for McPherson.
Whoever wrote it. Maybe my dad read it wrong.
Okay, what is the last name?
Edmonds.
Okay, I have evidence here to dispute any
All right,
fine.
so he
that I'm
sent you the
assigned.
wrong
So
name?
it's Jordan's fault.
So tell him, $5 fine. Tell him.
No, I'll pay the fine for him. I just want you to know that it was not my mistake. I read what was...
No, that's a great appeal.
Thank you.
The Hartford Current.
So now you have...
That's an NWSL team.
I'm saying to myself, okay, which would you be more inclined to believe? A reporter who is has no skin in the game as far as which, what's what, but putting his livelihood on the line, his credibility, his reputation on the line to cover a story fairly? Or would you side with the business, in this case the NBA, that is paying investigators to investigate themselves? Like, which side here would you be more inclined to believe?
It's almost a rhetorical question because for me it goes without saying. The impartial jury here is Pablo, and he's not even a jurist. He's presenting the facts. I believe Pablo Torre and his investigation. If fans are going to be dunking on somebody, it should be Adam Silver for looking at this with blinders on and making a ruling that serves his and his league's best interest. They want this whole thing to go away. They want it to go away. So do the owners, I think, throughout the league. And so he's making the prudent announcement that, well, there's just not enough evidence. We weren't able to find any wrongdoing here. It doesn't mean that Pablo Torre was wrong. It doesn't even mean that by 5%.
Now, to me, I'm also thinking, all right, let's try and be rational about this here. There was a report not too long ago, like a week or so ago, that the league is currently negotiating. They're trying to find a resolution as to what the punishment should be. They're negotiating with Ballmer, with the Clippers, what the punishment in this situation would be. So if we're going to use some common sense, why would you negotiate? Why would you have to negotiate what a punishment should be when there's been no findings of wrongdoing?
Yeah, exactly. That's well put. If you're not guilty, you're not guilty. If you're negotiating a settlement, you're admitting some sort of guilt, I would think.
Like if you're getting together, if the league is getting together with Steve Ballmer, all right, Steve, we're going to negotiate a punishment here. And then Steve Ballmer's like, all right, what do you got on me? And the league says, nothing. All right, I vote no punishment. Like, what? I mean, am I framing this properly?
The Jacksonville Daily Record.
Do you get mad when stuff like this comes out like yesterday?
Like what?
Because you put a lot of work into this. I mean, Pablo's putting the most work, but you put in like the second most work.
So there's a couple of things with this story, right? Number one is ESPN story comes out, and the Clippers immediately come out with a statement and say, see?
Right.
As if it's all confirmation.
Right.
And so when Mike Bass comes out, and Mike Bass is the main spokesperson for the NBA, and you can tell sometimes by the tenor of his releases, he's kind of like Pat Riley in that way, where it's like, oh, Mike's not happy about this one. The way that thing was worded was...
So NBA spokesman Mike Bass puts out a statement. ESPN's article regarding the LA Clippers investigation, of which the NBA declined to cooperate, contains numerous and significant inaccuracies. The result in this matter will be made clear once the investigation is concluded. They came out with that statement very fast.
Very fast because they could have just kept quiet. Like, it kept quiet.
Which you normally would.
Normally would, right? It's like, yeah, like we didn't cooperate with this, but like we're not going to confirm or deny or whatever. But for them to come out that quickly, and
why would they do that?
Because the story probably contains significant inaccuracies, right? And
these are very credible reporters.
Absolutely.
Who were on that ESPN report.
But my thing is always this: I always believe reporters are trying to get it right, but they are not compromised. Shouldn't be the word I use, but their one vulnerability they have is the source. So we had an example of this quite accidentally right now, a few seconds ago, where Greg said, hey, the source says the name of the guy that did the vote was so-and-so, so-and-so. And then these guys are like, oh, no, Greg, you got it. I was like, well, no. This was what was told to me. Now, obviously, Greg didn't go through not two-factor authentication. What's it called? Two-source.
That was your mistake, Greg.
Independent
it really
source confirmation,
yeah,
right? But that's the point. I can get multiple independent sources who give me incorrect information, whether that's because they had it wrong, whether because they are trying to influence the news cycle. It happens, and it happens a lot. And most of the time when you see reporting, particularly reporting like this, not reporting that took over a year of like it was 9 months of Pablo working on something before we even had the first episode, right? Not that kind of reporting, but reporting was like, what has happened over here? Oh, this is a new thing over here. The whole transaction thing, that happens because you're going off of velocity. I just want rapid information, not I'm working these sources and I'm grinding them down and I'm searching high and low and I'm pulling FOIA requests and all that stuff. So for me, I read it before I even saw Mike Bass's statement. I was like, I find that hard to believe based on all the things that we've presented and all the things that we still have yet to present. I find it hard to believe the league, like, yeah, they didn't do anything wrong. When I read it, I said, you know who it sounds like? Kind of sounds like the Clippers. Because this is what everyone who I've talked to who deal with the Clippers say they behave like. Whether it's teams that are trying to do transactions with them, whether it's media members who talking to them, they do this thing where they just, no, there's nothing going on, man. I don't know what they're talking about. The idea that the only thing that would happen is like, hey, you guys really have to pay attention to who you introduce people to. Like, that's insane compared to the information that we present.
And again, why would you negotiate a settlement
if that's all you did?
When there has been no evidence of wrongdoing?
Like the way that report came out made it seem like all they did was, hey, man, you got some lower level employees that may have overstepped some bounds in terms of where introductions happen to the thing. So it's like, if that's the violation, then why, like you said, why would it even get to a point? You'd be like, yeah, I'll take the slap on the wrist and let's keep it moving.
What happened yesterday was fascinating. We have to keep in mind the NBA and ESPN are league partners. This report comes out from ESPN with some heavy hitter journalists attached to it.
Yep.
BBN is a big deal. And while everyone's getting their jokes off on Pablo Torre, and everyone's assuming the league partner is carrying water for the league, and this was all the plan, the NBA comes out with a statement that, from where I'm sitting, boys, was a lot stronger than anything they've directed in the direction of Pablo or his reporting.
Yes.
I think that part has to be paid attention to. I think the league was really upset at the optics and already setting the expectation that there would be zero consequence here. But it's very rare for this to happen, that they're not aligned, ESPN's reporters and the league. You had to have assumed that ESPN was aware of this, and the league was aware that this investigation from ESPN's journalist was happening. This story was coming out because people were asked for quotes and whatnot. For this to come out, and for the league to have that statement immediately after, that's a sloppy shop.
So getting to August, it's now the end of the summer, and it feels a bit like the calm before the storm of the fall schedule. The show, there's broadcasting gigs, everything else. And so I need clothes that are comfortable, that look good, and don't require a lot of thought, especially here in Miami in the humidity where I'm going to sweat through everything. And that doesn't happen for me right now because I've been upgrading my staples with Quince. Their ultra soft organic tees have become an easy go-to for me. They fit well, they feel premium, and they work whether I'm headed to the studio or if I'm going out afterward. Quince delivers that quality for 50 to 80% less than similar brands by working directly with ethical factories and cutting out the middleman. I use Quince, and you should too. So, upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dan. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dan.
I just bought a new house, which means I'm officially learning how many things a house needs after you've already spent all of your money buying the house. And windows, apparently you can't just leave those wide open and let the entire neighborhood watch Tony TV for free. That's where Blinds.com can help. For 30 years, they've made it easy to find the perfect fit, covering more than 25 million windows and earning 50,000 5-star reviews. You can go full DIY or have a licensed and vetted pro handle the measuring and installation, or land somewhere in between. Need help with the style? Book a free consultation with one of their award-winning design specialists, and they'll even ship samples fast and free. Plus, everything is backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee. Right now, Blinds.com is giving Le Batard Show listeners an exclusive $50 off when you spend $500 or more. Just use code DAN at checkout. That's code DAN, D-A-N, at checkout. Limited time offer. Rules and restrictions apply. See Blinds.com for details.
It's one of my favorite times. There's that point in every summer where I start convincing myself I'm going to be normal about football this year. Not as emotional. Not lose myself completely in it. And then the games start. The sprinklers. The smell of grass. the roar of the crowd, the toasting of Miller Lite. Ah, that right there, my friends. That's my favorite part about all of this, because making football time is great. Making football time a Miller time, that's special. Some of my favorite weekends are built around football. Getting everybody together, putting the college games on Saturday, come back for the NFL on Sunday, order way too much food, and crack open Miller Lites for me and my friends. That's a perfect weekend for me. And Miller Lite is a beer I reach for every time because it's crisp, refreshing, and easy to drink, especially when football starts. When it's still somehow down here 90 degrees in Miami, it's a true American Pilsner that cools the body down, the original light beer since 1975, and just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. Legendary game days start with a Miller Lite. Make game day legendary. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Game time is Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Dan Le Batard.
God, I would love to see that interaction. Lord, let there be a day.
Hey, Oprah.
Let there be a day. Oh, the color purple.
You like these glasses?
She would see these glasses. She'd be like, this is someone I'll take a picture with. He looks sophisticated.
I love big game, not a big game.
Jonathan Saslow.
She would say that to me. Instead of me having to go up to her and say, I'm a
right.
big fan, she'd be like,
Huge.
I love big deal, not a big deal.
Huge fan of your work.
One-time or two-time championship broadcaster?
Two. Oprah, two.
You think Oprah would say, like, hey, know about that book club?
Well, and I would say, yes, I do, Oprah. Yes, I do.
Have you seen Weapons? But the kids!
This is the Dan Le Batard Show.
Mike, you hit on something very, very specific there. We've been reporting the story since September. They have never come out with anything close to the vitriol of that short statement from Mike Bass. For them to, it's kind of like, yeah, okay, well, I guess that could be true. Oh, maybe or maybe not. But, you hear something that's not true, hell no, I ain't do that. That's basically what the NBA did.
Yeah.
The other part of it, to go back to ESPN's reporting, that somehow this all turns into, oh, no, we just introduce people, whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to make this very simple for you. Kawhi Leonard got paid by aspiration, an amount that was more than Robert Downey Jr., Leonardo DiCaprio, and Drake combined, to never talk, whereas those guys all did the talking on behalf of that company.
I read a story the other day. Leonardo DiCaprio has sex while wearing headphones and listening to music.
He probably does.
I saw that too.
Crazy.
The other thing that we've uncovered with Daktronics is, again, Daktronics paid Kawhi Leonard as a spokesperson when in the 60-year history of their company, they've never paid for a spokesperson, and that's part of their whole philosophy. We don't pay for spokespeople. All right. So in both cases, money was paid to this guy to not do any spokesperson type activity. From the collective bargaining agreement, it shall constitute a violation of Section 1A above, tender an agreement or understanding with any sponsor, business partner, third party, under which that party agrees to pay compensation for basketball services, even if such compensation is ostensibly designated as being non-basketball services. So it's a violation for them to pay you for basketball, even if they say, no, this was to be a spokesperson. And then here's the part. Such compensation is substantially in excess of fair market value of any services rendered by the player. Substantially in excess of fair market value. So if I told you I paid DiCaprio $5 and Robert Downey Jr. $5 and Drake $5, and I paid Kawhi Leonard $25, does that sound like excess of fair market value?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's, to me, open and shut case right there.
I know.
Hey.
So back to my original question. Do you get mad?
I don't get mad because the ruling hasn't happened. These reports are just reports. They're just telling me what I believe to be what the Clippers think about the situation. Maybe there's some other people behind the scenes, maybe some people on the league side, speaking on the case of anonymity and not on behalf of the NBA, who say, yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen.
But I mean, if we can parse through what we know that's in the story and the statements and what Pablo's reporting has told us about the questions that are being asked by Wachtel, it does. The theory that they're going to try to put this on Kawhi and Uncle Dennis does gain even more steam, right?
It's impossible, right? If it was Kawhi and Uncle Dennis and not the Clippers, and guess what that is? It's not cap circumvention. They just went out and made money. And they're free to make money in any way.
Well, and it can't be on Kawhi and Uncle Dennis and not the Clippers because the Raptors aren't being accused of this.
No, it's not because of that. Because if there's no team that's culpable, then it's not cap circumvention. And that's the part to me that's crazy. How many people, jamokes on the internet, and people who are NBA players, and people who are close to NBA players, who all like, why y'all going after Kawhi? I'm like, you morons.
Well, let's also remember Jaylen Brown. Like he told us when we call him the smartest guy in the room, the bar is really low in the NBA.
I'm just saying.
Like we got a glimpse of that yesterday, didn't we?
You know, like Ty Lawson was like, oh, does Pablo get fined now? Like, you dumbass. You dumbass. This isn't about Kawhi. It's about Steve Ballmer.
That's where you get like Jeff Teague last week. It's like, why is Pablo pocket watching Kawhi? Like you're stupid.
It's not about. You know what it's like? You guys ever seen the movie American Gangster with Denzel Washington?
Love that
and
scene
Russell
where he kills
Crowe?
Stringer. Oh my god!
Right?
Crazy.
Like,
What a
great
scene.
And he
movie.
gives a tip to him too.
Yeah.
Great movie.
You got your tip jar?
It's based on
My man.
real live gangster Frank Lucas, who had the biggest heroin operation in the United States during the Vietnam War, right? And so it's like, it would be like watching American Gangster and saying, why is Russell Crowe hating on T.I.? T.I. is like the nephew who's like, yeah, he's involved.
Had a good arm too.
He
Should
had
have played for the Yankees.
Should have
To
played
be
for the
fair,
Yankees, but he wanted to be like Uncle
he
Frank.
wanted to be a
I want to be like you, Uncle Frank. But anyway, like imagine watching that movie and like the whole apparatus is like, we got to catch Frank Lucas. And but watching that movie through the lens of like, T.I., man, they're all trying to take T.I. down. Like, you can't be this. But again, it speaks to the mentality of the player. They always look at things with a player lens where it's like, oh my God, why? They're all trying to get us. And I'm like, no, man, take the blinders off. There's something bigger that's happening around you.
So this was not the only story involving an LA team yesterday.
Oh my gosh.
Wait, if we could, before we get too far removed, because this is super important. The Hartford Current was the impetus for this entire game. And I know you fellas in there are big, strong allies of women's professional sports. And given the discourse, I think we should flash that. It's time to play a new game.
Yeah.
NWSL team or small local paper.
Wow.
Yeah. We got music. Wait, listen to the music. Yeah, I like this. It's like an 80s thing going.
All right, boys.
Uh-huh.
First one. Kansas City Current.
Oh, I recuse myself.
All right.
Small paper.
I think that's an NWSL team, but Current is spelled differently than the Hartford Current.
That you have to
That's-
assume. You have to
that's
assume which
notable.
one.
Yes, Kansas City Current team. I think.
It's an NWSL team.
Wow.
I follow them on Instagram. That's how I know.
Wow. So it's
Why's that?
CURRENT.
The Chicago Defender.
Oh, wow.
I'm going to say small local paper.
Small local paper.
Yeah, I happen to know. I'm bad to play this game because I know a lot of newspaper names. That's a Chicago. I think it's a black-owned.
It's a black, yep.
Yeah.
It's a black paper.
Yeah.
It's a black paper.
Yeah.
The Black Internet.
Boston Legacy.
Oh, shit.
I don't know that as either. Like,
I'm
not doing that to you.
I'm
This
gonna-
is either an NWSL team or a small local paper.
going to say team.
I'm going to say NWSL team.
I'll say paper.
It is a team.
Yeah. 3 for 3.
The San Diego Wave.
Okay.
No, that's a team, man. No. Who's reading the Wave? I'm not reading the Wave.
The Wave sounds like it could be a student newspaper from
could be.
college.
Yeah.
Pepperdine, maybe, but not.
So you know what?
Small local
Good on
paper or NWSL team.
I'm going to go small local paper. I think it could be a student-run paper.
I'll go team.
It is a team.
Yeah, 4 for 4.
Kansas City Pitch.
I'm
Bad
going to
name
say
for either.
yes. Yes. First of all, yeah, like you can't be a team named the Pitch. People are running all over you. Then it's a paper.
You already named the Kansas City Current.
It's a
There should be-
huge soccer town.
There's going to be 2
Big
NWSL
market.
teams in the
Yeah,
same
big
city.
market.
Nah.
Remember, there's 2 Kansas Cities, one in Kansas and one in Missouri.
Yeah.
I'm going paper.
Team.
It's a paper.
5 for 5. I'm
Denver
on fire.
Summit.
Shit. Shit.
I don't know what it is either.
Shit. I'm going team.
Yeah, I'm going NWSL team.
I'll go paper then.
Denver Summit FC.
Yes!
Yep.
That concludes NWSL team or small local paper.
I love the NWSL.
What a game.
Love it.
So getting to August, it's now the end of the summer, and it feels a bit like the calm before the storm of the fall schedule. The show, there's broadcasting gigs, everything else. And so I need clothes that are comfortable, that look good, and don't require a lot of thought, especially here in Miami in the humidity where I'm going to sweat through everything. And that doesn't happen for me right now because I've been upgrading my staples with Quince. Their ultra soft organic tees have become an easy go-to for me. They fit well, they feel premium, and they work whether I'm headed to the studio or if I'm going out afterward. Quince delivers that quality for 50 to 80% less than similar brands by working directly with ethical factories and cutting out the middlemen. I use Quince, and you should too. So, upgrade your everyday. Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/Dan. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/Dan.
It's one of my favorite times. There's that point in every summer where I start convincing myself I'm going to be normal about football this year. Not as emotional, not lose myself completely in it. And then the games start. The sprinklers, the smell of grass, the roar of the crowd, the toasting of Miller Lite. Ah, that right there, my friends. That's my favorite part about all of this because making football time is great. Making football time a Miller time, that's special. Some of my favorite weekends are built around football. Getting everybody together, putting the college games on Saturday, come back for the NFL on Sunday, order way too much food, and crack open Miller Lites for me and my friends. That's a perfect weekend for me. And Miller Lite is a beer I reach for every time because it's crisp, refreshing, and easy to drink, especially when football starts. When it's still somehow down here 90 degrees in Miami, it's a true American Pilsner that cools the body down, the original light beer since 1975, and just 96 calories and 3.2 carbs. Legendary game days start with a Miller Lite. Make game day legendary. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. Game time is Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
This episode is brought to you by Google Chrome. You think you know a browser, but Gemini and Chrome? That's new. It can help you with practically anything on the web, like restoring a vintage motorcycle from a 50-page restoration blog, or finally break down that long article you've had open for weeks. Gemini and Chrome is here for it. Ready to make anything online make sense? There's no place like Chrome. Check responses, setup required, compatibility and availability varies, 18+.
Dan Levitar.
Put a finger in there, but if you tell anyone, I'll deny it.
Mike Ryan.
Don't just stare at it, eat it.
This is the Dan Levitar Show.
So if one story out of Los Angeles wasn't enough, we got another big one yesterday. Also, we all know at this point that the Los Angeles Lakers last week, I broke the news right here. Zaslow had it first, props to Zaslow. I broke the news last week that the Los Angeles Lakers are being sold again for the second time in 14 months.
You mean you broke it on this show?
Yeah.
To this show.
Well, you don't think anyone understood? People were confused with that? Yes, of course. And yesterday, you get the report from Shams Charania. Actually, I should read it the way that he put it out,
Yes,
just for
the
accuracy.
way the maker created.
Yeah, so Shams Charania then, he posted yesterday. Let's see.
Okay.
Breaking. The Bus family has decided to sell.
Toledo Blade.
The Bus family has decided to sell its remaining 17.8% ownership stake in the Los Angeles Lakers to new owners Josh Kushner, Bob Iger. Sources tell ESPN. The Bus Family Trust, composed of siblings Jeannie, Jim, Johnny, Janie, Joey, and Jesse. Boy, I mean, all of Jay. Received majority votes to allow trustees to execute the sale. It required 4 of 6 votes to enact the tag-along provision of Mark Walter's sale to Kushner and Iger, valued at $12.5 billion. But then, and he adds on to it, once the transaction is completed, this is the important part, once the transaction is completed, Jeannie Buss will no longer be allowed to be the governor of the Lakers because in order NBA guidelines require the governor of the team, that's the person who makes the decisions. The governor of the team has to have at least a 15% ownership stake. And so she would not be able to stay on, which we know is very important to her and was probably very important to her father as well before he passed away. But then we start to get conflicting reports here.
You got a not so fast, my friend, from Lee Corso somewhere.
And apparently, Jeannie Buss's lawyer is contending that the Buss siblings leak information to Shams Charania to make it sound one way when they believe this isn't even legal, what they're trying to do right now.
Yes. Basically, Jeannie's lawyer is saying, hey, she has a provision that maintains that she must have 15% in order to continue to be the governor, right? Once that statute of limitations expires or whatever, then that happens, but basically it doesn't happen without her veto, in essence. She can veto any sale because any sale would drop her below that threshold. And they're contending that that stipulation in the contract, that she must maintain the ownership required in order to be governor, supersedes any tag-along. And so we're in for a legal battle between the Buss kids once again. It seems like they're all in court, and that's the legacy of Dr. Jerry Buss, is to have children fighting against one another.
Sad.
Which is like literally what the entire show Succession was.
Yes, this is Succession, right?
Including Meets Winning Time.
Yeah.
What's up? Meets Winning Time?
Yeah.
I don't see the Winning Time connection.
They own the rights to both. Oh, okay. They can microwave it easily.
Now, did they need to vote unanimous for this to sell?
They cannot sell without her go along.
So then why in Shams Charania's original report it says they had the majority, 4 out of 6 votes needed?
Because they're saying the tag-along. That's what they're saying. They're saying the tag-along supersedes.
What does that mean?
Well, the tag-along says if the team sells, we can then, like, if the majority guy sells his part, we can then tag along with the sale and at that valuation and cash out.
Okay.
So they're saying, Mark Walter sold, so here we go. We're enacting the tag along so that we can come in on this 12.5
And for that, they only need majority.
Yes, except for the fact that Jeannie has that part. So, for instance,
except that Jeannie has it in her contract that she gets to remain on no matter what.
Exactly. So if Jeannie, you're saying, well, why would they even have that?
Which means you can't sell.
If it was Jeannie by herself saying, oh yeah, let's go ahead and go on with this sale, but the other 5 said, no, we like being minority owners of the Lakers, of our dad's team, then she couldn't do that because she doesn't have the power to overwhelm them and go tag along on the sale. But so she would need a majority. But the flip side is, even if it's 5 out of 6, if the 6th is Jeannie's contending.
Because she's the one who has it in her contract.
Okay,
Exactly.
but all this seems sloppy. So help me see the bigger picture here, because this deal famously came together in like 2 phone calls.
72, two phone calls.
You've never seen a team sold multiple times quicker.
Right. And this seems to be a pretty big loose end. You don't want the family drama out there.
You know what happens to loose ends, right?
Okay.
Just saying.
All right.
Sopranos, along with Winning
Right.
Time and Succession.
Right. All 3 together. All owned by the same company. But this is playing out in public. You know, it's kind of messy. I'm a new owner. I just spent $12.5 billion, and this family drama is playing out because of these actions. Why wouldn't I just stay the course with Las Vegas? Why do I need this headache?
Well, there's 2 things. Number one is Las Vegas and expansion is it appears those prices are going up and up. And again, I keep telling everybody, to build in Las Vegas, you have to build an arena, which means you have to be able to have dates filled up on non-game nights. That's how you pay for arenas, right? And so you're talking about a market that is the most saturated when it comes to 12 to 15,000 seat venues, right? Like they've got a gajillion of them. So to me, Vegas is always going to be like an uphill battle as far as maintaining whatever. But the flip side is the Lakers, Mike, is like, I don't have to establish a brand. I don't have to come up with a logo. I don't have to sell people or tell people.
No doubt. That's why a premium is attached.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it would as many hurdles as there would be with an expansion team in Las Vegas. It's a cheaper price tag than the golden Los Angeles Lakers.
But it's turnkey. Like even if you like whatever that price tag is, you then have to do this uphill battle of, hey, I know you guys have the Raiders and the things, but like, I'm here too. Please pay attention to me.
Yeah,
right?
but that's why the price tag would be lower because you have to do all those headaches.
Sure. So, but you're saying why
this home is moving ready?
Why wouldn't I? You're saying why wouldn't I just stick with the expansion? I'm like, because this is better.
It's better. It's more expensive.
If it's available, it's more expensive, but it's better.
Okay, but now I got this family drama out there.
Well, let's see. This is the part where some would say, "Oh my God, the family drama. This is bad PR." Some would. You know who wouldn't? Probably Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, because now it's like, yeah, talk about the buses over there. Yeah, oh my God, that family's a mess. Oh my God, can you believe Dr. Jerry be rolling in his grave and all that? That means they're not talking about me.
I think Mark Walter probably loves it the most.
Mark Walter's like, they're not talking about my
Josh Kushner too.
thing. Josh Kushner, like, they're not talking about my brother. Like Bob Iger's like, yeah, they're not talking about me in bed with Big DJT.
You know who else likes this? Steve Ballmer likes this because it's taking a little heat off him.
Of course.
I think there's a phone call between one LA and the other LA. Hey, Jeannie, Steve, how about you throw a fake grenade into this sale? Take a little heat off me. Have everybody talking about the other LeBron's game gone. Have everybody talking about the other team in town instead of Ballmer's
Local
team.
media, at the very least, because they love talking about the Bus family and the Bus family drama. That is what's going to be the most salacious headline. That's going to be what's the most interesting part here.
And you know what's funny? I've already seen it, again, from media people. Again, I'm not talking about jamokes on the internet. I'm talking about people who are employed to write about the NBA, saying, well, this Mark Walter Genie Bus thing is way more interesting than the Steve Ballmer thing. I'm like, really? You think that?
Who said that? Name names.
I don't need to name names.
So in the 72 hours, this deal came together.
Yeah.
From what Ramona told us. Bob Iger, Josh Kushner, they've made a lot of money. They're pretty bright guys. They had to have known about this loose end when it came to the Bus family. There's a chance that they were like, well, that could be good for us.
Well, look, here's the thing. It really does not impact their angle, right? Because whether the buses sell, tag along, or don't tag along, they're buying the majority stake. They're buying Mark Walter's stake, and so they'll own it. And now Bob Iger has said, and you said Bob Iger made a lot of money. Greg, you know how he made all that money.
Disney.
There you go.
Iger.
There it is. So the bus thing, at best, it is a great distraction from what looks like a very unconventional sale. Let's say that. I think we can call it. It's unconventional that the crown jewel in sports brands gets sold over 2 phone calls over 72 hours without any other competing bids. At worst, yeah, that's like the cost of buying the team. Okay, so now I have to deal with the bus kids arguing and fighting. But it's like it really does not impact the progress of history, right? The march of progress. It's like, I own the team. That's all he cares about.
Can I read this statement here also, which I thought had some interesting wording here? This statement is from the Bus family to ESPN yesterday.
Okay.
And this came out before we learned about Genie.
Yes, this was like the statement that came out with the initial breaking news.
Because I think I know the quote that you're about to read here, and my head kind of turned like a curious dog. I'm like, that's interesting wording
So
here.
pay specific attention to the last line that I'm going to read you here in this statement from the Bus family. Quote, we have decided as a family to sell the remaining Bus family trust shares to the Bob Iger Group as part of the ongoing transaction. We love the Lakers, Laker fans, and will continue to support Los Angeles. But it is time to use this opportunity to move on and exit gracefully while we still can.
What?
While we still can.
Wow.
2 interesting things about that. Headline, while we still can.
Oh, boy.
Gracefully, while we still can.
Like, what's about to happen that is going to prevent you from exiting gracefully?
Yeah, I was like, I didn't think there was an issue, but now I do. And number 2 is just the Iger Group, huh?
Yeah.
That's what we're calling it.
Where am I?
Iger
No,
Group.
Thrive Capital.
Okay, cool.
Thrive Eternal.
Eternal, my bad.
So
live
it could be
forever.
read that you, based on the things that you just pointed out, that the Bus siblings are trying to say, we think that there is something shady going on with this sale, who it's being sold from, and maybe who it's being sold to.
I don't know. I'm not going to make any of those leaps of why they would word it that way. Is it because of the sale? What about the sale?
But it's purposely worded that way.
It is worded
That's
that
a
way.
red flag while we still can.
Massive red flag.
Yeah.
What is happening? But this is now I'm beginning to lean. I'm not all the way over on your side, Zaz, but I'm leaning towards your side. Or it's like, Commissioner Silver, get control of your league. I mean,
no
like,
control.
think about all the things in the last 12 months, right? Gambling scandal, massive cap circumvention, an owner who bought a team on money that he clearly did not have.
Cap circumvention scandal allegations.
Scandal, yes. Yes, I'm naming scandals. Right?
And your sister league that you're supposed to oversee is kind of a mess.
But their stuff is like regular Tuesday kind of problems, right? Like, oh, they hate this player. Like, oh my God, how adorable. None of that impacts the integrity of the business. The things I'm talking about, that's the integrity of your game. Whether players are playing for real or not, or, basically throwing games. Whether they're teams that are operating outside of the construct of collective bargaining agreement to sign players. Whether the people buying your teams are qualified and vetted to buy teams. Whether their sales are above board.
I brought this up last week. Who you letting into your league, man? Who you letting into your league?
This is Game of Thrones. This is absolutely Game of Thrones. And if you're sitting around worried about like player type stuff, you're basically worried about the people of Flea Bottom, where the House Martell and the House Lannister and the House Stark, that's where it's happening. The House Buss and the House Walter and the House Kushner, right? And the House Ballmer. That's where the stuff is happening. And meanwhile, you're over here worried about like, oh my God, did you hear what happened at King's Landing? Yeah, they raised taxes again. Like, that's so small potatoes.
It does lack the leadership. Even the WNBA one is another example where a stronger leader has the foresight to get out in front of all of this. Again, Mike Bass's statement was very strongly worded, and it's not like they don't know that ESPN's article at some point is going to get published. How you don't get in front of that and avoid the optics of that. Your league partner, ESPN, doing reporting in a day, an age where everyone is questioning their reporting, especially on this story. Yeah. Sloppy shop. And then you have this going on with the Lakers stuff, unless what Amin said is true, that the league and the prospective Iger group realize that this is actually good for us. This conversation, this family drama is a welcome distraction from all the other calamities.
The Lexington Herald leader.
It's kind of sad when you think about it, though. Like, Dr. Jerry Buss definitely would be so sad the way things are playing out, right?
Embarrassed,
It's a
too.
shame.
Yeah, embarrassed.
It really is. It's a shame.
I mean, I leave and you kids can't handle anything.
He kind of Horatio'd from CSI Miami, that whole thing.
Put on his sunglasses and walked away while it was exploding. I mean, like, Jeannie, I want you to run the team, but not the basketball side. I don't think a woman could do that. I'm like, what? Like, that's.
I mean,
and then the Who blares in the background while he's walking away.
He definitely had a will that when it was being read was like, like he probably got a kick out of it.
The Philippi Barbour Democrat.
Cleveland Plain Dealer.
The Plain Dealer.
There's a franchise out there called the Tampa Bay Sun. I don't know what you do with that. That could be both.
Maybe it is both. Maybe the players write for the newspaper.
That would be funny.
Favorable stories?
Second job.
You got your tip jar?